Hello, yogis. Today's class is a prenatal yoga class designed for all 3 trimesters. For this class, we will need a blanket or a towel to sit up on, 2 blocks, and then a bolster or 2 if you have them. If you don't have a bolster, try to find a nice firm pillow that can support your body weight. If you don't have a firm pillow that can support your body weight, just skip the poses that require you to lie down on your back because we really want to feel like we're completely supported in these postures, and it's better to not do them at all if you don't have a bolster or a super firm pillow to lie back on. Throughout this practice, if any of these poses make you uncomfortable, please make sure that you just back out of them. This is your practice, your body, your baby. You know what's best for you. So please make sure that you're listening to your body. Also, during the practice, make sure that you're sticking to about 70% of your maximum stretching capability. We're a little more flexible because of our hormones when we're pregnant. So it's really important that we don't overstretch the body. So we'll begin in a nice, comfortable seated position. You can sit up on your blanket, coming to the edge of the blanket. And then just rest your hands on your knees, soften your shoulders down and away from your ears, and then bring your hands to your baby. Keep a nice neutral spine here, and really begin to deepen your breath. Take nice deep inhales through your nose, and exhales through your nose. And begin to slow your breath down. Take an inhale for a count of 3. Exhale for a count of 3. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Inhale for a count of 5. And exhale for a count of 5. And throughout this practice, just stick to this nice, deep, steady breathing. It's so much more important that we breathe with our bodies than anything else in this practice. And just take a moment to connect with your baby. Send your baby love and gratitude. And just imagine this love and gratitude surrounding your entire belly, surrounding your baby. And gently open your eyes. Take your left hand over to your right knee. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. And exhale, gently tilt to the side to feel a nice stretch through your right side body. Soften your shoulder down and away from your ear. And take a few deep breaths. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop your right hand behind you. Twist from the base of your spine up to the crown of your head. Nice gentle twist. Inhale, reach your right arm back up, coming forward. Exhale, little side bend. Feel that stretch again through your right side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, gently place your right hand behind you. Little twist. Ensure that you're sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, release. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. And bring your right hand to your left knee. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And exhale, take a little side body stretch. Soften your left shoulder down and away from your ear. Inhale. Exhale, gentle twist. Bring your left hand behind you. Begin the twist from the base of your spine all the way up to your neck. Deep, full belly breaths. Inhale, reach your left arm back up. Exhale, take that little side body stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale, gentle twist. Bring your left hand back behind you. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder. Take a few gentle breaths. Inhale, bring your gaze forward, and exhale, slowly release. Bring the sole of your left foot to the right thigh and extend your right leg out straight in front of you. Bring your right hand toward your toes and inhale, sweep your left arm up. Feel that nice side body stretch. Maybe you can even grip your toes. Take a few deep breaths here. Your left hand is extending straight up toward the ceiling. The left shoulder is softening down and away from your ear. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, just crawl your fingertips forward. If you're in the third trimester, you can always keep your fingertips back behind you and keep lifting up through your chest. First and second trimester, you can begin to crawl forward as long as you don't feel any compression in your belly. Just take a few deep, deep breaths here. Hug your baby in with each exhale. Inhale, slowly walk your fingertips back. Take your right hand to your knee, gentle twist. Left arm comes back behind you. Again, we're twisting from the base of the spine all the way up to the neck, but nice and gentle, nothing too deep. Inhale, bring your gaze forward, come back to center. Exhale, reach back for your toes. Reach your left arm up toward the sky. Beautiful. Feel a nice deep stretch through your left side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, crawl your fingertips forward, or you can have your fingers behind you sitting straight up if that's more comfortable. And remember to just take this at about 70% of your maximum stretching rate. It's really important that we don't overstretch here. Inhale, crawl your fingertips back. Exhale, take your right hand to your knee. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder. The left arm's behind you. Gentle twist. Inhale, bring your gaze forward. Exhale, release. We'll switch sides. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inner left thigh. Extend your left leg out straight. Make sure that you're really flexing through your left foot to protect your knee. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, reach your left hand toward your toes. Keep extending your right arm up toward the ceiling. Soften your right shoulder down and away from your ear. You may not be able to reach your toes. Your hand might just come to your shin. That's perfectly okay. Maybe you have a strap at home. You can always take your strap around your left foot. Inhale, come to center. Bring your fingertips out in front of you. Exhale, come forward. Again, you can always stick with the fingertips back, sitting up nice and tall if you're in the third trimester and this has become uncomfortable for your belly. Inhale, slowly crawl your fingertips back to center. Exhale, twist. Bring your right hand behind you. Your left hand comes to your knee. Gentle, gentle movement. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. We'll take that flow one more time. Inhale, exhale, reach your right arm up. Your left hand reaches for your left toes or the shin. Take a few deep breaths. Feel a nice stretch through your right side body. Inhale, come to neutral. Bring your fingertips out in front of you. And exhale, begin to crawl your fingertips forward. Take nice deep breaths. Inhale, crawl your fingertips back. Exhale, twist. Bring your right hand back behind you. Your left hand comes to your right knee. Soften your shoulders down and away from your ears and keep your breath nice and steady. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, slowly release. We'll make our way onto our hands and knees for cat-cow. So maybe move your blanket out from under you and just set it off to the side. And then be very careful coming into your tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Inhale, arch your back, bring your gaze forward, broaden through your collarbones. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, hug your baby, round your spine. Your head is the last thing to drop. Inhale, arch your back, broaden through your collarbones, bring your gaze forward. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, hug your baby in. Slowly roll one vertebrae at a time. Your head is the last thing to drop. Inhale, arch. Bring your gaze forward. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, hug baby in, round your spine, nice and slow. Inhale, come to a neutral position. Exhale, extend your left leg back behind you and just press through your left toes so that you get a nice stretch through your left hamstring and your calf here. Keep hugging your baby in. Inhale, come back to your tabletop. Exhale, switch sides. Extend your right leg back behind you. Press firmly through your right toes and keep hugging your baby in. Good. Come back to your tabletop. Bring your knees as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes toward one another. Sit your hips back towards your heels for your extended child's pose. Reach your arms out in front of you and bring your forehead to your mat. If your forehead doesn't reach your mat, just stack your hands on top of one another and bring your forehead to your hands. You just want to make sure that you have support for your head here. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale, just press your way up. Keep your hips where they are. We'll take a little bit of a wrist stretch. You might want to sit up just a little bit, maybe tuck your toes if that's more comfortable. Turn your fingertips back towards you. Just take a few deep breaths. This really helps to alleviate any of those carpal tunnel symptoms that you might be feeling, especially in the second and third trimester. And then turn your fingertips out to the side and just take a few gentle rocks. Good, and then turn your palms up toward the ceiling. This one's always a little bit challenging. Keep a nice bend in your elbows. Good. And then come back to your tabletop. Tuck your toes, scoot your hands out in front of you a little bit. Inhale to a plank position. Adjust your stance as you need. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Your feet are at least hip width distance apart. You can paddle your feet out, moving however feels good and natural for your body. Before coming into a static downward facing dog, your gaze is at your belly. Your wrists are just wider than your shoulders. Your fingers are spread. Take a few deep breaths here in your down dog. Good. And then inhale, come back to your tabletop, and then bring your knees wide. Big toes touching for your child's pose with the arms extended, or you can stack the hands and bring your forehead down to your hands if your forehead doesn't naturally reach the mat. Take a few deep, full belly breaths here. Take a moment to connect with your baby. Take a moment to send your baby love and gratitude. Inhale, come back to your tabletop. tuck your toes. Exhale, come to your downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Imagine you're in a nice inverted V position here. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, return back to your knees. I'm going to turn to face you, but keep facing the long way on your mat. I just want you to be able to see me. So from here, extend your right leg out to the side. Press firmly through your right foot. Hug your baby up and in. Bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way up. Perfect. Beautiful. We'll take our gate pose. So you'll bring your right hand to your thigh. Inhale, sweep your left arm up, and exhale, just come into a little side bend. Inhale, exhale, plant your left hand down to the ground, or you may need a block. For a modified side plank, so if you have the block, maybe the block is underneath the left hand. Take an inhale here, and then exhale. Reach your right fingertips toward your mat. Feel a nice side body stretch. So you should feel a nice straight line of energy from your right fingertips to the sole of your right foot. Inhale, exhale. Slowly just bring your right hand down, crisscross your hands until you come to center. Inhale here. You can stay right here, especially if you have tight shoulders. Maybe you can make your way onto your elbows, or if you have the flexibility, you can reach your arms out in front of you and bring your forehead toward your mat. Only take this variation if the forehead can comfortably come to the mat. Otherwise, stick with your forearms on the ground or maybe just pressing through your palms. Take a few deep breaths. If you're down on your elbows or you've walked your hands back, gently walk them in. Keep planting through your left hand and inhale, reach your right arm to the sky for a little twist. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your right knee back in. Hug baby in. And then just extend. You'll have to move your block out of the way. It's in the way. And then just extend your left leg out to the side. Hug baby in. Lift up. Lift baby up. Lift your chest up and the crown of your head up and rise all the way up. Beautiful. For gate pose, slowly begin to reach your left fingertips down your thigh. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Take a few deep breaths here. Maybe reach your right fingertips forward if that feels good. Inhale, gently rise to neutral. Exhale, take that modified side plank. And again, you can always have a block under your right hand. Initially, just reach your left fingertips up and then reach them forward. finding that nice straight line of energy from your left fingertips all the way to the sole of your left foot. Keep softening your left shoulder down and away from your ears. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower your left hand down, crisscross your hands until you come to center. You can stay right here, especially if you've got tight shoulders. Maybe you come down onto your elbows. Maybe you reach your fingertips out in front of you and bring your forehead to the ground. Again, just stick with whatever variation works with you and your body today. And remember to stick at that 70%. Wherever you're at, gently press up onto your palms. Keep your right palm planted. And inhale, lift your left arm up toward the sky for a nice gentle twist. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your left knee back in. You may need your block. We're going to take a version of hero's pose. And you'll sit back onto your block or onto your heels. I'll show you from the side. So if you have the block, you can sit back onto your block. Want to be conscious here of just keeping a nice neutral spine, so the natural curves of your spine are fine. We just don't want to be rounding too much or overarching the back, just keeping this nice neutral spine. And then interlace your fingers and inhale to reach your arms up. Soften your shoulders down and away from your ears. Take a few deep breaths here. Exhale, slowly release. Interlace your fingers behind you. And inhale, just open the chest. You may need a strap here if you can't clasp the fingers, or you can always just grab onto your elbows instead if that's more comfortable for you. One more breath. Slowly release. Good. We'll rock forward, remove the block if you had the block. Come back to your tabletop position and just start rocking back toward your heels. Take gentle movements here. And then we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. If you need your blocks, you can have your blocks to the inside of your foot. And then gently bring your right hand to your thigh and lift up into your low lunge. Interlace your fingers behind your knee. Take a few deep breaths here. Really squeeze your thighs in because we don't want to overdo it. Soften your shoulders down and away from your ears. Hug baby in. Nice deep breaths. Take an inhale. Exhale. Release. We'll come back for that tabletop. Maybe have your blocks. And just take a few little rocks. And this time we're going to step the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Again, you can have your palms flat or they can be up on your blocks. And then take your left hand back behind your knee. Hug baby in and come up into your low lunge. Take a few deep breaths here. Ensure you're squeezing your thighs together. Keep hugging baby up and in. Lift through your chest and the crown of your head. Exhale, slowly release. Come back to that tabletop position and come into your child's pose. Bring your knees wide, big toes touching. Rest your forehead to the ground, or bring your palms to stack on top of one another and bring your forehead to your hands. Take a few deep breaths. Good. Make your way to your tabletop, and you'll step your dominant leg forward. So whatever your dominant leg is, gently bring, if it's your right leg, bring your right hand to your thigh. If it's your left leg, bring your left hand to your thigh. And then we're going to step forward. Nice wide position here, and then press up to a standing position. Good. From here, we'll come into our warrior one. Bend your knees and step your left foot back. A little shorter stance, but wider with your feet. So your legs are a little shorter than what you may be used to, but your feet are a little wider so that you can really bring your belly forward toward the front of your mat. And then reach your arms up for your warrior one. If it feels better to interlace the fingers behind your head, maybe get a little heart opener. Keep hugging baby in. We're building strength for labor and delivery here. Take one more deep breath. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Hug baby in and step back to the front. Good. Take a breath here. Maybe bring your hands to heart center. And we'll switch sides. Bring your hands back to your hips. Bend your knees and step your right foot back. Again, your feet are a little wider, but your stance is a little shorter. Square your belly toward the front of your mat. Keep bending through your front knee. And then lift your arms up for your warrior one. Soften your shoulders down and away from your ears. And maybe it's more comfortable to just interlace your fingers to get a little heart opener here. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. On an inhale, lean forward a little bit. Exhale, step forward and come back to your standing position. Beautiful. Come to a stance on your mat so that you're facing forward, this nice wide stance on your mat. We'll make our way into our other standing positions. All of our standing positions are going to start long ways on our mat just to make it a little bit easier. So you'll bring yourself into a 4-foot stance. For your warrior two, reach your arms out, take an inhale, exhale, bend into your right knee, and bring your gaze over your right middle finger. If you take a look down, you should still be able to see your right big toe. Stack your shoulders directly over your pelvis. Just take a few deep breaths. Nice, strong, beautiful stance. Inhale, straighten your right leg, and we'll just pivot to the other side. Bend your left knee this time. Find that nice 90-degree bend in your front knee. Bring your gaze over your left middle finger. Stack your shoulders directly over your hips. Nice deep breaths. Hug baby up and in. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Come to neutral and just heel toe your feet all the way back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment here and pause. Take some nice deep inhales and exhales through your nose. And slowly open your eyes. For triangle pose, come back to that 4-foot stance. Take your time to get there. Turn your left foot in slightly. Inhale, reach your arms out. And exhale, reach your right fingertips toward the front of your mat as far as you can. And then bring your right hand to your right shin. And bring your gaze up towards your left thumb. Or you can bring your gaze straight in front of you if that strains your neck. Should feel a nice stretch through the left side body. Now imagine that someone's pulling up on your left hand, and inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, we'll switch sides. The left toes point straight, the right toes are at a slight angle. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, reach your left fingertips toward the front, and then rest your left hand on your shin. Bring your gaze up toward your right thumb. Take a few deep breaths. You should feel a nice stretch through your right side body. Again, imagine as if someone's pulling up on your right hand, and inhale, rise up. Exhale, pivot back to the right side. We'll take that stretch one more time. So right toes point forward, your left toes are slightly in. Inhale. Exhale, reach your right fingertips toward the front, send your left hip back, and then bring your right hand to your right shin. Your left arm reaches up, and for this variation, bring that left arm forward and then reach it straight to feel a nice side body stretch. Soften your left shoulder down and away from your ear. Just a few more breaths. Inhale, slowly rise. Exhale to switch sides. Point your left toes straight. Your right foot is turned slightly in. Inhale. Exhale, reach your left fingertips forward. Send your right hip back. Bring your left hand down to your shin. Your gaze is up towards your right thumb. Take an inhale, and then exhale, sweep your arm forward, and then all the way toward the front of your mat. Soften your right shoulder down and away from your ear. Nice deep stretch, a few deep breaths. Remember, we're only at 70% here. Good, and then reach the arm back up. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring your feet neutral. If it's more comfortable to turn your feet out and heels in, you can. Take an inhale. Bring your hands to your thighs. Exhale, come into goddess pose. Resting your hands on the thighs. And then take that right shoulder forward. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, switch sides. Bring your left shoulder forward and gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, and then bring your arms to a goal post here. Keep that spine neutral. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly rise, and then bring your hands to your hips, heel toe your feet back to hip width distance apart. Bring your hands to heart center. Maybe close your eyes. Come back to your intention. Come back to your breath. Tune in to what's going on in your body and with your baby. Slowly open your eyes, come back to that forefoot stance. We'll prepare as if we're coming into warrior two on the right side. Point the right toes toward the front of the mat. Back foot in slightly. Bend your right knee. Come into warrior two for a moment. Take an inhale and then exhale. Drop your right forearm to your thigh. Reach your left fingertips toward the front of the room for your side angle pose. Good. Inhale, slowly rise back to warrior two. Exhale, straighten your right leg and just turn to the back of your mat. Come into warrior two on the left side. Bend your left knee. Bring your gaze over your left middle finger. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop your left forearm to your thigh and reach your right fingertips toward the front of your mat. Imagine a nice straight line of energy from your right fingertips to the sole of your right foot. Just a few breaths. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Turn your feet neutral, heel toe your feet back to hip width distance apart. Beautiful. We'll take our tree pose. Ground through your right foot, and then bring your left foot out to the side. Maybe you're placing your left foot on your calf. Maybe you're placing it to the upper thigh. Your hands can be on your hips or at heart center. Keep that neutral spine. Hug your baby up and in. Lift through your chest and the crown of your head. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release. And we'll switch sides. Ground through your left foot. Bring the right foot out to the side. Maybe place your right hand on your calf or your upper thigh. Hands can stay on your hips or come to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Come toward a wall. Just make sure your mat is toward the wall. And we'll come into a little squat here. So you may need to adjust your mat. Just bring it toward the wall and sit back. Just make sure your knees are stacked with your ankles. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Really strengthen the legs. Rest your hands on your thighs. Hug your baby up and in. Take a few deep breaths. This is a great pose to help us prepare our legs for labor and delivery. We have to be strong and mindful of our breathing. Take an inhale, and then exhale. We'll just slide down, coming all the way onto our bums. Extend your legs in front of you. You can always sit up onto your blanket if you prefer. Flex your feet and give yourself enough room to bring your belly forward. Take an inhale and exhale, reach for your toes or your shins or wherever your hands can reach. Just ensure that you're keeping a nice neutral spine. Take nice deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, slowly release, and then bring your feet out wide. Keep flexing your feet up toward the ceiling. If you're in the third trimester, you can just stay here, reaching your fingertips back. First and second trimester, Maybe you reach your fingertips forward. Keep flexing through your feet to protect your knees. Take an inhale. Exhale. Slowly walk your hands back. And then bring your legs forward. Bend your left knee. Give yourself enough room for baby here. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Just gently twist. Your gaze is over your right shoulder. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. We'll switch sides. Bend your right knee. Give yourself enough room here. And then the twist is gently gazing over your left shoulder. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. We're going to come down onto our sides. So be gentle to make your way to your side. Support your head here, and then extend both legs straight. And then you'll bring your top leg so that your foot is on your inner thigh. You might need the wall to balance here. This one's kind of challenging. And it's just like a tree pose laying down. So the left foot is to the inner right thigh. The left knee is pointing up toward the ceiling, and you're using your hands to support you. Good. To come out of it, we'll bend the knees and gently sit all the way up to switch sides. Take your time coming down onto your side. Extend both legs straight, flex your feet, and then take your top foot to the inner thigh for a tree pose variation. Again, be close to a wall or have a bolster behind your back for support. I'm not very flexible on this side. So just keep pressing your right knee up toward the ceiling. Take a few deep breaths. And then gently press yourself, bring your knees back together and press yourself up. So for our next pose, we need our bolster. If you don't have a bolster at all, instead of taking any of these poses, bring yourself to your wall. Bring the soles of your feet together and sit up straight if you don't have a bolster. And you'll just take this variation. If you do have a bolster, you'll bring the bolster back behind you. And actually, we want a little more lift, so you can bring your block underneath your bolster. I like to prefer the wood blocks because they're a little more steady and stable. And we'll take Supta Baddha Konasana. So to get there, you'll come onto your side and then roll onto your bolster. Bring the soles of your feet together. Allow your heart to open here. And this is, if it's in any way, if this is uncomfortable for you, being on your back, just make your way out of it and take that variation with the wall. So we don't want to take any poses that are uncomfortable. Some women are completely uncomfortable on their backs in pregnancy. So please, please listen to your body and take the variation that works for you and your body today. You can also always have blocks under your knees if you need them or if you'd like them. And just take a few breaths in this posture. Feel your heart expanding. Connect back to your baby. Connect back to your intention for your practice. Send your baby positive energy, positive affirmations. Send your baby love. And send your baby gratitude for being on this journey with you. To get out of this posture, we'll gently roll to our left side to come up. And for our final relaxation, we'll need our bolster. Move your block out of the way. You can actually also use a block between your knees if you don't have a bolster. Maybe have your blanket handy. Place your blanket up at the top of your mat. You'll bring your bolster between your thighs. Find a comfortable position. And then lower all the way down onto your side. Get nice and comfortable here. It might take a moment. You can always have extra blankets underneath the left hip. And just take some more time to connect with the baby. Imagine that your baby is sending you love and gratitude right back. Imagine a white light of protective energy surrounding your baby within your belly. Imagine this beautiful white light that surrounds your baby and protects your baby, expanding to surround and protect you. bask in this beautiful white energy for a few moments. And then allow yourself to completely relax in your Shavasana. Take your time, slowly and gently press your way back to a comfortable position on your mat. When you're ready, take your time. Bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your journey and for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. Always remember to listen to your body and your baby, whether that be in yoga or throughout your everyday life. This is your sacred journey, and you know your body and your baby best. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.